Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a 1.9 tire test. So we have a few laid out here. We have the Louise Champs, we have the Pitbull Rock Beast XL, sorry for the delay there, and then we have the JConcepts Ruptures. And then as always, I like to throw something kind of funny in there, maybe something to mix it up. So let's go check that one out. Okay. So as we saw on the title screen, these are the RC4WD Goodyear Duratrac. So this is a 1.9. Okay, so that didn't really work out. Let's see how it does here. So without wheel speed, you're not really going to go anywhere. And that's kind of been the story, right? Even those little tiny, where they rock locks on those little black Rhino wheels. If you watch the 1.0 one, those RC4-wheel drives too, you had to get into it to get them to go. So let's just take a quick peek here. So like the tread itself is soft, but it's very smooth. So I think it's hard for it to kind of grab. Well, let's take it to the trail and see how it climbs up. All right, let's put it a little bit more in its environment here and see how it does. I think we gave them a pretty fair shot. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's pretty obvious that they don't have what it takes to get up and out of here. All right, so now that we kind of got that joke one out of the way, we can go over the parameters for this. So each time it's going to be the same wheel, the same ones on the front, same ones on the back. I have weighted them to try and make this as fair as possible. And the other thing that we're going to do is each one of the larger 1.9s are going to use the Louise foam that came with the Champs to try and make it as fair as possible. So let's get the swap done. So we got the Louise Champs on there. This is the first time they've ever hit dirt. I have to say they feel very good. Here, let's zoom out just a little. Maybe a little too much. Very nice. Very nice. Ooh, they look good too. All right, so they made easy work of that one. Let's try them on here. Oh, hold on a sec here. Like, all B, man. Oh, impressive. Well, these things have rendered me speechless a little bit. I knew they were going to be good by, after I clean them up. So my process is I soak new tires in a diluted simple green solution with water. Time varies. It's not an exact science, it's just whatever. And then I soak them in some Dawn diluted with water to try and get the simple green off and the smell down a little bit. And then they're basically good to go. Well, I'm not really quite sure how I feel. Because it didn't look very good on that climb out there. I mean, they did it. I just, based on everything else they had done, I thought for sure they were just gonna grab and go. But that's not what happened. So I think let's just run them in just a little. I'll put them back on that vertical wall now that they're a little dusty. We'll see what happens here. These are the only ones that are new in the test, so that's why I figured let's just give them a few extra minutes. Get another spot to scrub them in good here. Okay, let's go back. All right, so we got some dust on them now. Okay. Well, let's run the next one. All right, so we got the Pitbull Rock Beast XL on there now. Same foams that were in the Louise. We're making sure we keep that consistent. Man, that's crazy. I remember when I first bought these and I brought them to the indoor crawl center and they just didn't do very good. And the owner was like, nah, man, gotta get yourself some JCs. And I ran these on the Optic because they look good. But they didn't make that climb. So I thought, okay, let's just throw this one at them and just see. I'm trying to give everyone an equal opportunity here. If you place the tire exact, if you find a seam and you hook those side lugs, you can get it. But just flat like that, it just skips over everything. Well, where are we stacking them up so far? Anybody keeping score out there? Ooh. All right, so last but certainly not least, we have got the JConcepts Rupture. So I think of this tire as like a no-doubter, like clutch, like this thing is gonna perform. Like, look at that. I haven't changed my finger position at all. Amazing. So we're using the same foams throughout. We use the ones that came with the Louise tires because they're nice soft single stage. They've been cut. They give you a nice foam. Same wheels. We're using these SSDs. Got the brake disc detail in the front, heavy brass in the front. Just kept everything consistent across the board. Yeah, like these are no doubter, man. Like if you're hanging out with a buddy and you know if you pass him the puck or you pass him the rock and he's gonna make that shot, that's these tires. Just clutch, man. Sick. Okay, let's go do the climb out. So I think to keep everything fair after this, I'll go and I'll put it back on the vertical wall now that they're dusty and dirty and running a similar handicap as the others, we'll see. That tree root there, it's nasty. All right, so now they're dusty and dirty. Well, I thought we'd do something different for the end of this one because I have to get the video wrapped up and I just don't have a lot of time to do the final segment here. So kids being put down by the wife. My next task every evening is to take the dogs out. So that's what we're doing now. So let's talk about the tire test conclusion there. I think it's pretty clear that fourth place would go to the Goodyear Duratrac from RC4WD Drive. I actually liked that tire on smaller trucks. So if you go through the videos, there is a Tamiya CC02 that I threw every single part at. And in that video, when I take it to the crawl center, it's wearing those Duratracs, and it actually does okay. To the point that when I flipped it, I held on to those tires because I thought that they did okay in that smaller form factor. I originally bought them for an Element Night Runner, but I didn't like the look of the big wheel, small tire on it. It just, I don't know, I was going for more of an off-road look as opposed to mall crawler. So then what are we going to put in third? I think third has to go to the Rock Beast. They just didn't have a lot of traction. When I was preparing for this shoot, when I disassembled those Rock Beasts off the wheels they were on, there was a super hard foam in there. And I can't remember if that's what they provide, or if I got those with something else. I wouldn't have bought them, I know that. So they had to have come with something. So that's where switching out that foam for the Louise, I thought was going to really give it a good edge. Because now the tire would be able to conform a little more. But it still didn't have good traction unless you could catch the outside edge of the tire on a seam or something and get it to work. I think both number 4 and number 3 suffer from the same thing, which is a really even tread block, like when you look across the face. And so that doesn't really give them anywhere to bite when they're scratching at the surface. So then I would have to give number 2 to the Champs. They did really good. I see why they're highly regarded from other places like Crawler Canyon and stuff. He's always talking about the Champs, or I believe they used to be called the Deep Woods. I'm not 100% sure. Couple things about those. So they're directional, so you have to make sure you're paying attention when you mount them. I was in a rush, obviously, trying to do these shoots, and I messed up one, and I had to go and take it apart again and flip it around. And then the other thing I'm not a huge fan of is the sprayed-on lettering. They got overspray all over the tire, so it has this metallic kind of look to it. Even washing it and stuff, it didn't come off. What else? I'm not sure if maybe there was raised lettering when it was a Duratrac, and then when they switched branding, if retaining the mold, if they just took the name off and they switched to a spray. Like I don't know, but I wish the other side of the tire that was blacked out had raised lettering or something, because it just looks really weird if you don't have the silver side out to have absolutely nothing on the other. Now, that being said, they were super affordable. I think per pair, like half the cost of the JConcept. So when you put it into perspective of what I paid for what you get, so you get like a nice trimmed foam, you get a decent compound, there's really good value there. And then number 1 all around, I mean, it's the Rupture. I want to try other JCI tires. Like I want to try a set of Bossmans, and then there's a few others that I'm interested in the same green compound. But yeah, they it's like no effort. They just absolutely walked up anything and everything I pointed them at, whether they were dusty or whatever. They just didn't seem to care. So that's why that's sort of that is why that's my go-to tire on my comp truck, as well as when we finish the optic out in that 2.2 format. There's a 2.2 Rupture on there, and it just kicks butt. It's super good. So thanks for sticking along. I think what we're going to do is we're going to clean up those Champs, and then we're going to give them away. So watch for a giveaway video coming out. I have the bags, the tags, the stickers, so I'll wash them up, make them look brand new, and then we'll ship them off. But that's it for today, and you guys take care out there.